Because there's nothing worse than like listening to a band where it sounds like one person has written it.
I read that you try to progress over each record, to raise the stakes. You want to keep up with that progression. Does it sometimes, did you have had the moment that you thought, what should we do now, or is there always room?
I mean, you always get influence and ideas from the funniest of places, to be honest. But yeah, of course, there's like in any creative person, no matter if you're a painter or a musician or whatever, you know, you're always going to have like dead spots, you know. And like this album and like the many albums, you know, it's sometimes you'll play something and you'll have a song written within like a matter of a day, you know, and then some songs can take like, I don't know, months to finish because it's just nothing really flows properly, you know.
Is there a song on this record that you had to struggle a big struggle with?
Song on this album. Let's think.
Or maybe a song that turned out very successful, but it was really a struggle to achieve.
Actually, funny you should say that. The Forgive Me Father track on here, that was written basically in a day. You know, that was one of the faster ones. Everything just flowed pretty much straight away with that. But there's a couple on here. I can't specifically like pinpoint which ones they were. There were a couple on there that pretty much were not final right until we came out of the studio with the final recording. Because they took like, yeah, I mean, because like from start to finish, from the writing process into the recording process, it took roughly, I don't know, 7-8 months to finish.
But is that for you, you described, yeah, you do, of course, the musical part, but also the merchandise and stage ideas, concepts. Is there a certain, let's say, over a creative process, do you reserve a certain time for writing, or do these things occur while
No,
doing
you can't like reserve time. You just have to like actually jump on it and be creative when you get the creative streak. You know, I can't just say, right, I'm going to set aside 5 hours or 4 hours in the afternoon to do this, this and this. Excuse me, it just doesn't work like that for me personally. I have to like, luckily though, I am really creative, so I could be doing artwork for argument's sake for the band, and then all of a sudden I'd like get a riff come in my head. So I'll completely leave the artwork alone, jump straight into the studio, play, and next thing I know, I've got like a complete song sitting in front of me.
All right. Yeah, because you take care of the musical part, and Dani of the lyrics. Do you give each other updates on where, or you talk regularly?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, definitely. Well, with this album, actually, I pulled in like the rest of the band as well. You know, James and Dave, we all got together and actually like pretty much done the album like all together as a collective. Because there's nothing worse than like listening to a band where it sounds like one person has written it.
Did you ever have the fear that maybe this would occur because you contributed maybe most of the musical ideas, that it maybe became a little bit recognizable that it was you?
No, not really, because I don't know, it's always been, I mean, if I take the last album, there was that fear there, but it turned out fine. It actually sounded like an actual band was playing it, which was brilliant, you know. But I think, like I say, this one, it was more of a collective, getting more ideas in for other people, bouncing ideas off each other, you know. I mean, I do most of the arranging. When everybody else gives me their ideas, I arrange the material into the songs.
Can you give an example? What kind of different input does each of the band members have? Or what kind of ideas?
Well, I mean, we'll take it from the beginning. For argument's sake, I'll be sitting in my studio. You know, this is from my point of view. I'll be sitting in the studio and I'll come up with, like, for argument's sake, 4 or 5 riffs. Then I'll send them off to Martin, the drummer, and he'll send me back the drums. I'll replay them riffs to suit his drums. And then I'll send them back to him so he refines the drums and it'll come back to me again. And then once I'm happy with that, I'll come up with a melody line and send them to like the keyboard player. And I'll ask them to orchestrate the sections, you know, because I want them involved as well. They'll send it back to me. I'll replace instruments in the orchestra that what I like and I don't like, you know, and then it basically goes on to Dan. But then I'll get influences from other ideas from other people like James and Dave. You know, they'll hear the track, they'll send me their ideas, and then I'll just sit there. I've got a whole collective of stuff. Then I'll arrange everything, which I think sounds really good for this track. Then it'll go off to Dan, and he'll start putting lyrics to it. Then he'll say to me, you know, oh, can you extend this section because of the lyrics, or I want them to fit there here, or can you shorten this, or and it goes on like that, and there's basically like that for the whole album.
Do you have like compatible systems that you all work
Yeah,
on and
totally.
you can send each other stuff and things like that? Okay.